Welcome to Off the Grid in All Power Rangers podcast. I am your host, Jacob Bartley, and I'm coming to you today on the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July for all of you. I'm out here in California. It's pretty hot, but I think we got the AC on. I don't know. You better ask my roommates. How's it going, everybody? Welcome. If it's your first time, welcome. This is an All Power Rangers podcast where I talk about the TV shows, the movies, the comics, the toys, everything going on in the world of Power Rangers that I possibly can, that I'm aware of, that I'm knowledgeable of. And for those of you who have watched the show before, welcome back. Today, the main topic is going to be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 28. I know I'm a little bit late on this review like I am for most of them, but I'm here to get it to you anyway. But we got a couple other things to talk about. Just, wow. Power Rangers, it seems like with the Bandai purchase and like the question of what's going on with the movies and whether or not we're going to get a sequel or a reboot, and then Beast Morphers and Power Morphicon and the comics, it seems like Power Rangers is like in a state it's never been before, where even though mainstream audiences aren't aware or excited about it that much, among Power Ranger fans it seems like there's this hype, and it just gets me excited. You're probably wondering what I'm holding, or maybe not. One thing I like to talk about on this show is Power Ranger stuff that I collect, and I never open my collectibles or my toys. However, like I've said a million times, Toys R Us is going out of business. I think they're officially closed stores. I already have this figure. It's the Power Rangers movie figure, Red Ranger. And I've always wanted to open one of them, but I never do. So I bought a second one just so I can open it. And they always mention the points of articulation, and this is crazy. Like, these move like crazy, and I imagine they're all like that. Like, he can do anything. Like, it's crazy. Like, look at that. That's insane. That's really cool. I really like that. I hope the new Hasbro toys are has articulation like that. The only thing, like, I really like the articulation. The only thing I don't like about this is, like, the sword doesn't stay in his hand. Look, it falls loose like that. That's the only thing I don't like about this particular figure. But other than that, this is really cool. I usually have it standing up right here, but I wanted to show you guys it before the show, or during the show. But yeah, today we're going to talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 28. But I will show you a couple more collectibles, something I'm super excited about. So, I think it was about a week ago, about 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, I was on the hunt for the new pink and yellow Zeo Rangers, because they had just came out as a GameStop exclusive, and they were on pre-order for a while. Apparently, they weren't selling them in stores. The only copies that the stores got were the pre-sale ones. I went to a GameStop, they didn't have them. I called another GameStop, they told me the same thing. So I jumped on GameStop.com immediately, ordered them for $20 because I know they're going to be on freaking Amazon Prime for like $40, $60 or whatever. I got them. This is Zeo Ranger 1, Pink Zeo Ranger, awesome. And Zeo Ranger 2, one of my favorite Rangers ever, Tanya, awesome as well. And we got the 25-year anniversary sticker on there, which is awesome because they have Jason on there, original Red Ranger Jason, the best Ranger of all time in my opinion, on there. And they could have easily had Tommy on there, one iteration of Tommy, green, white, Draken, whatever. But they have Jason on there, show some respect. I love Tommy, but come on, Jason's the first leader of the team. We all know this. Those are awesome. My Zeo team is complete. I have Zeo Ranger Gold, like, our Zeo Ranger Mustard Yellow, as most of you might know it as, because the coloring is so off. It's not even gold, it's like mustard yellow. But my Zeo Ranger team is complete. My next collection is going to be the In Space Rangers, because I'm watching Power Rangers in Space right now and I love it. But even if I wasn't watching it right now, I would still get the Power Rangers in Space, because that's the next Power Rangers that they have toys of for the Legacy figures. They don't have Turbo Ranger toys, which I'm not a big fan of Turbo. There's some redeeming qualities within the season and everything, but if they came out with Power Turbo Legacy figures, I would totally buy them. Don't get me wrong, but those are ones I can live without. I have to have the Zeo ones in space. I have to have, of course, Mighty Morphin. I still don't have a few Mighty Morphins. Like, I have a red, white, yellow, or a red, blue, black, yellow, pink, and a white. I don't have the Green Ranger. I'm waiting. I'm gonna buy it on Amazon Prime one of these days because I have to have it. It's like $160. Jeez. But I have different iterations of those Rangers. Like, I have the original pink and yellows, but then I have the blue, black, and red, the metallic versions with the weapons. So I don't have like the actual complete set, but I do have the original team in one way or another, with the White Ranger Tommy in there, I suppose. Got to get that green one. Anyways, that's enough rambling on about that kind of stuff. Let's jump into a segment that after my intro, I'm going to start the show with, called Ranger News. This is going to be the second opening segment of the show, Ranger News. And let's talk about some toy news. So toy news, it's been announced that Power Morphicon is going to release a Funko Pop Megazord Gold and Black. Supposedly you can pre-order this. You can go in and adjust your reservation. You can add it to your reservation if you're just signing up and order the black and gold Megazord pop figure. I was gonna pre-order it, and it's like, I think it's like $30 or $40. I'm just gonna wait to see if I can get one when I'm there. I'm going to Power Morphicon, by the way, next month. I'm so excited. I'm getting my Lord Drekken figure. Maybe I'll get 2. Maybe I'll get 4. I don't know. I want at least 2 so I can open one. Power Morphicon next month, my very first time going, and I'm so happy I'm going because a lot of people are saying you got to go to this one because who knows what's going to happen with Power Morphicon with Hasbro purchasing it. I'm sure they'll either keep it going or start their new one, but you never know. So, and I didn't know. I bought my tickets way before Hasbro bought Power Rangers, so I didn't know that, but I'm so glad I'm going this time around. I'm hoping that Jason David Frank is there on. I'm only going on Sunday, so I'm hoping Jason David Frank is there. If one of you guys are there on Sunday, like, let's link up, man. Power Ranger fans unite. Let's link up. I don't know what that was. That has nothing to do with Power Ranger fans. Power Ranger fans unite. I don't know. Write in the comment section. Let me know if you're going to be at Power Morphicon. Also, something I'm so excited about. They announced a Dragon Shield Red Ranger Legacy figure is coming out. GameStop exclusive, and yep, you guessed it. I already purchased it. I already pre-ordered it. Cannot wait for that to come out. That Dragon Shield Jason figure, or Jason, just the Dragon Shield Red Ranger is so awesome. And once I saw that, I lost my mind. Like, what the heck? And I pre-ordered it right away. I didn't even second guess it. Just pre-ordered it right away from GameStop.com. I highly recommend doing it. Who knows how fast that's going to sell out. Yeah, I want to pre-order another one, but I just pre-ordered one right now to see how it went. And also, in other news, in toy news, Bandai is re-releasing some of the Legacy line, but not necessarily the figures, I guess. I guess they're re-releasing like some of the weapons, like the Dragon Dagger and some of the Zord stuff. And also, Bandai's SDCC San Diego Comic-Con 2018 exclusives are going to be the Green Psycho Ranger and the Silver Psycho Ranger. Now, I'm watching Power Rangers in Space right now, right? And the Psycho Rangers have just recently popped up in the season, and I love the Psycho Rangers. I love to look at them. I love them as antagonists for the Power Rangers. I think it's great. The Green Psycho Ranger is not in space so far. There's no Green Ranger in space that I know of. So, but the Green Psycho Ranger did show up in the comics in one of the issues in like a flashback where an original team that Zoran tried to put together faced him on the moon, I believe. So is that the only appearance of the Green Psycho Ranger? I'm wondering. If you know this, let me know, because that means they're making a figure based on just one appearance in a comic, which is crazy. And you have the Silver Psycho Ranger, which we know is not really a Psycho Ranger. It was just one that Zane turned into to like kind of distract the other Psycho Rangers. So that's crazy to me. I'm not going to be able to get those because I'm not going to San Diego Comic-Con. There's no other way to get them, so that sucks. I'm going to probably buy them online for like $200. Also, this is good news, I suppose. Judd Lin is returning for Beast Morphers. I mean, I think some people might have guessed that. I believe he's been working on some of the recent iterations of the show. I don't have much of a comment on it. I know I praise the man because he did a lot of work on some of the early Power Ranger shows that I love. And I know some people are upset with some of the recent stuff he's done. I'm going to have to give my opinion on that stuff once I watch it. I just know there's probably no one on Earth that knows the lore better than him. So I'm okay with him working on Beast Morphers. I'm excited. I'm going to finish all the shows before Beast Morphers premieres. So we'll see how that goes. Now, this is something big for you comic fans. Power Rangers, Boom Comics, they announced that they're doing, this is a few weeks old, they're doing a graphic novel called Power Rangers Soul of the Dragon, and this is basically the synopsis of it. As a young adult, Tommy Oliver set upon a journey that would inspire hundreds of Power Rangers that would come afterwards, thwarting evils like Empress Rita Repulsa, Lord Zed, and King Mondo of the Machine Empire. Now, Tommy's retired with Catherine and leaves protecting the world to Space Patrol Delta, including his son, JJ. But when Jake disappears, presumed dead after an undercover mission goes wrong, Tommy will call on all his training, his friends, and maybe even some of his enemies as he sets out on one last mission: find his son and bring him home. From writer Kyle Higgins comes the final story of history's mightiest Power Ranger. Yeah, history's mightiest Power Ranger. No, I'm just kidding. He probably is, but Jason's still my favorite. This sounds awesome. This is basically Old Man Tommy. This is basically Old Man Logan, but with Tommy, which is crazy. The most iconic Power Ranger character. Of course they're going to do it. I like that they're diving into Tommy as much as possible. But I hope after Shattered Grid and after this graphic novel, they kind of just pump the brakes on exploring Tommy. Explore another Ranger. Explore, like, put the spotlight on somebody else. Put the spotlight on Andros. We know Andros is going to be part of that new team that the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger comics is going to focus on, with a mixture of different Rangers. Put the focus on somebody else after Shattered Grid and after this graphic novel comes out. I'm totally fine with that. But I'm picking this up the day it comes out. I'm so excited for it. All right, now we're here to talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 8. If you didn't see the title of the video, this is going to be a spoiler discussion of this issue. This is the continuation of Shattered Grid. I have the issue right here. One of my favorite covers that they've put out so far. Basically a big battle, or a big ensemble of a bunch of different characters. Love that cover. So this one opens up. You have Jen and Kim in the Pterodactyl Zord talking about what they've lost and about how time works, and how Kim's trying to hint that she wants to go back in time and save Tommy, but Jen is like, no, we can't do that. Even if he does come back, he's not going to be the same. And she's hinting towards some stuff that happened with her and her team, and how she wants to save her team, because remember at the beginning of Shattered Grid, they were supposedly killed off by Draken, which I thought was a great opening and showed that they're not playing around. And she was saying she doesn't even know if they'll be the same when and if they come back. And I thought that was really cool. Obviously I haven't watched Time Force yet. I've only watched up until like Lost Galaxy when I was a kid, and I'm currently rewatching them on In Space, so I'm almost there. I'm getting there. But I'll probably go, oh yeah, that's what she was talking about in the comics. So I'm excited to get to that. That's one thing these comics have done. They've made me so excited to watch all the shows that I never watched. Like, I barely remember Lost Galaxy. I don't remember any of the other ones. So I'm excited to watch all of them again after my knowledge from Shattered Grid. So that's really cool. I love that opening. That was really good, really cool. It showed different sides of the characters, and it's, talked about what, the repercussions might be of, even if they do bring these characters back, are they going to be the same? And I think this kind of told me that they're not bringing anybody back. I don't know what they're going to do in the comics. And obviously in the Go-Go timeline, we're going to get Tommy Oliver again. Unless they shake things up completely, we're going to get Tommy in that timeline. So in the Mighty Morphin timeline, I hope they just don't bring Tommy back, because then there's no consequences for people dying. So that's fine. I'm fine with Jen saving her Time Force team, because we didn't spend a bunch of time with them in the comics and get to know them and everything like that. But we did spend a bunch of time with Tommy in the comics, and he died, and it was felt by fans and the characters in the comics. So I hope they don't bring him back, because that would just take away from the impact of it during the comics. All right, this next thing got me so freaking happy, so excited. So I'm watching Power Rangers in Space right now, right? And I love Astronema. She is I almost want to say she's my favorite villain in Power Rangers of all time, but that goes to Lord Zed. Even though Lord Zed got a bit of comedic relief and just comedy near the end of his run, when Lord Zed first shows up, he's so menacing, and I love the look of Lord Zed and his music and everything. Lord Zed is my favorite Power Rangers villain of all time, but Astronema's number 2. I could say that wholeheartedly, because she's not there to crack jokes. She's there to take care of business, and then her depth with being Andros' sister and how she wants to be good and what Dark Spectre does to her, and I love that character. She has more depth than Zed for sure. I just Lord Zed all time. So anyways, the comics kind of spoiled this for me, which I'm so happy to hear. But so Corone, aka Astronema, is the pink Lost Galaxy Ranger. I didn't even know that, so that kind of sucks that that got spoiled for me. But I'm so happy to know that, because that means Corone's sticking around after In Space, which is so cool, because I love that character. But even cooler, she's in this comic. They find her, they're gathering up different Rangers, they take her to Kim Zord, and you see they got a bunch of different Rangers, and they're getting ready to take them to meet up with Jason and all those other Rangers on Corinth, and with Dr. K and all that, and they show up, and the big battle starts, and they're fighting and talking, just like in any movies or comics. They gotta have quippy dialogue while they're in the midst of life or death battle, but that's totally fine, because it's fiction. That's what happens. You can't just have fighting in silence, and when you want it to be fun as well. So I thought the battle was as good as it can get on paper, on drawn paper in a comic. It was really cool. I love the page where you turn it and it's like you can see the whole battle on the 2 pages. That was really cool. When Draken shows up, he's not playing around. He takes out a whole bunch of Rangers. He's very, very powerful. One thing I loved about this comic is when they cut back to Draken's world and you're dealing with the Coinless and Zach, Trini, and Billy from the regular timeline helping the Zach and Trini from the Coinless world. I loved this stuff, because one thing I said in the last issue of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I said, didn't seem like Zach and Trini reacted at all to seeing the other versions of themselves. And I said, maybe they'll mention it in the next issue. Go listen to the last podcast. I said that. They totally do. They focus a lot on it. They have Zach staring at the other Zach, and he's like, it's just so weird to see you. And he said, yeah, I totally get it. You too. And then they have this conversation where, the Coinless Zach is tired of fighting. He wants to stop one day. And then he asks the younger Zach, or the regular timeline Zach, did he ever tell the other Rangers that he was offered the green power coin from Rita and offered to join Rita, and he did, and they not forgave him, but they accepted it. And then Zach from the Coinless sacrifices himself. That was such a great setup right there. Not that I wanted this character to die, but it's just gonna motivate this Zach to do better, to go on, and it's gonna motivate him to want to go on and fight and live a happier life, a better life, and be a better man ultimately. And I thought that was so powerful, the way they set that up, the way they set up the conversation with them before, and how they set up him sacrificing himself to save the other Zach. That was just beautiful, and it just goes to show how taken care of this writing is, and how much thought and depth they put into writing this story and these characters. I absolutely loved it. And they cut back to the battle. They're flip-flopping back and forth. Kim drops off all the Rangers. Dr. K's like, no, we can't leave. Jason's like, we got to get you out of here. And she is the key, I believe. She's very important to ultimately taking down Draken. And they can't teleport out of there because the shield, because the dome that they're in. And Jason takes out the shield. And it was just awesome. Like, how awesome would this be to see in live action? Incredible. Maybe one day they'll adapt it. So we got all that going on, and then at the very end, we find out Draken's real goal. I don't remember who is talking about this, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Somebody's saying he's not taking Rangers' powers to get power. He's taking their power so he can become one with the Morphin Grid or whatever. And we see Tommy just kind of go into the Morphin Grid, and you see the crack in the shattered grid, and he smiles right before he does it. So I don't know what that means. Did he finally accomplish his goal of getting into the Morphin Grid? And what can he do in the Morphin Grid? That's the thing. Can he destroy all Rangers across all time? That's crazy to think. I don't know. But yeah, I loved this issue. I thought it was really good. Very entertaining. Definitely delivered when the last one was more of a setup. Setup, delivery. I think that's like a good formula they got going on. I thought it was really, really, really solid. Not like mind-blowing like some of the other issues have been, but it was really good. I loved it personally, and I can't wait for the continuation of this. Yeah, so let me know what you guys thought. Did you think this issue delivered with the setup of the last one? What did you think of seeing Astronema in there? Corone, that was freaking awesome. That was probably my favorite part of seeing Astronema. And finding out that way that she goes on to become the Pink Galaxy Ranger. What did you think of the big battle? What did you think of the two Zacks interacting? What do you think of his ultimate goal, of Draken's ultimate goal? Do you think that what can he do in the Morphin Grid? What is his plan? What is he going to do once he gets in there? Let me know in the comment section what you thought. Also, we have those little stupid stories at the end. Some of them I've liked in the past, like the Bulk and Skull ones. Some of them not so much, like the other ones. This one, I don't really like it that much. They're like 2 pages, so how much can you do? But the Bulk and Skull ones were fun because they were doing their Bulk and Skull, but like it didn't get in the way of the issue because it was afterwards. These ones, just like the last ones, whatever, I'm not really too into it. But finally, we'll probably get the Blue Centurion finally interacting with Ninjor, so maybe it'll get better once that time comes around. Alright, everybody, that's going to do it for Off the Grid. Let me know, like I said, what you thought of the issue. What do you think of some of the news I talked about at the beginning? Are you going to be at Power Morphicon? If so, let me know in the comment section. Let's link up and say hi or something. I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah. Cannot wait for Power Morphicon. Cannot wait for the next issue of the Power Rangers comics. Till next time, take care, and may the power protect you.